Hey guys, welcome back to another episode Up and Running. Thanks for watching. All right, on today's episode, we're having a little problem with the Super Bee. The windshield washer squirters don't squirt anymore, so we're going to check that out. So I hope you enjoy it. All right, so this is actually the 200th episode of Up and Running. I hope you've been liking them. So be sure to tell all your friends about it. Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell right next to it for the notifications, and click the like button. I appreciate everybody who's been watching this show all this time, so I really do. All right, so here's what's going on. The pump for this is down below the washer bottle here, and you can see it's been leaking. And I think what's going on is that some of that has leaked into the motor, and the motor no longer works. It seems to be locked up. The way I discovered it was I was in the car, I went to squirt the windshield, and nothing happened. I held it for a little bit thinking it lost its suction, and I came out here and I touched the motor, and the motor was really hot. So that's telling me that you know, it's still getting power because it heated the motor up, but the motor was not spinning. I tried to tap on it a little bit and nothing happened. So I got a new motor. So let's go ahead and put that on. So here's the new pump. You can see it's basically set up the same way as the old one. This one is actually the ground wire for it, and the ground attaches to the body right over in this area. There is actually a ground wire on that pump as well, and so that's where it gets the ground. And then there's one other terminal on here where the power goes to. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this out of here. I'm going to check to make sure that that wire is indeed getting power, even though I'm like 99.9% sure it is. And then we're going to go ahead and replace it with this new one. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this wire off of here. So this is the wire. This is a power probe that I'm going to use, and I am going to stick that in there. And let me see if I can get it to stick. I'm trying to figure out how to make this work so you guys are going to be able to see it. Okay, so I've got the power probe hooked up, and if you watch that meter on there, you should see it go up. It may or may not beep. It depends on exactly how much voltage it's getting. So I'm going to go ahead, get in the car, turn the key on, and hit the button, and you should see it read. There, I'm hitting the button. Off the button. On the button. All right, so you guys have to tell me I couldn't see it. I assume we got a reading, but let me know. Okay, so it read, so we know that the terminal, the plug down there, is getting power, and so we now know that that pump is indeed locked up, and you know the problem is with the pump. So we're going to go ahead and take this reservoir off and get the new stuff swapped over, and we'll get it working again. All right, so I'm going to show you how they do the ground on here. So that screw right there, that wire goes down to a terminal on that pump. Let me show you on the pump here. Right there you can see it. I've got the ground wire hooked up to it. But that's where the ground is coming from. And then the power wire is just a wire off another harness here. So that's where they're getting the power and the ground for that wiper squirter motor. So, all right, well, let's get that taken off and get the fluid drained and get it swapped over. All right, these are just 2 Phillips screws, screws, whatever you want to call it. This was the little washer deal that just fell off of there. I'll hang on to that in case I need it. All right, so there it is. I'm just going to get a little plug well, I can lean that far enough so I can take this off and it won't leak all over the place. If it wants to come off, come on off. There we go. All right, we're going to get this poured back into the bottle. This is really just storage. And then there is a little like plastic screen in here that I have to unscrew off of this. And then the new threads on the pump screw onto that. So we'll go ahead and get that unscrewed. I got to grab a socket for that. Okay, so this is just a 3/4 socket. I think you can probably see it in there. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Yeah, it's just barely tightened on there. I didn't need a handle on this or anything. And here it is. That's what it looks like. It's just a screen. Blow any junk out of it. And then this motor comes out. There's a grommet down here. This grommet is probably still good, but they give you a new grommet. Let me go ahead and get this on here. When I take stuff off like this, I try not to like I just took that grommet off, I try not to screw it up because you never know when the new aftermarket one's not going to fit right, or you know, whatever the case may be. Come on. There it goes. Alright. Now let me see if we can get this on. Okay, that one on. Now we got to put the little screen back in. Blow on that one more time. Just snug that up, and that's really all there is to it. Yeah, just making sure everything's lined up nice. Make sure that ground is on good, and let's get this put back on the car. Okay, so here we go now. I just got to put the line on here. All right, and then this is the power wire. Power wire is on. I'll set this back down, and I just got to bolt it on. Junk in the bottle. Just got to bolt it back onto the fender, and then I have to be sure to put the ground wire on here as well, so we have a ground. So otherwise the pump won't work. Even if it's getting power, it will not work. Got to have power and ground on everything. Just make that snug is all you really need to do. All right, snug that up. All right, everything is there. Let's pour a little bit of washer fluid in here. Trying to figure out how to make it work so I don't spill it all over, and then we'll just double check and make sure it doesn't leak out the bottom. Alright, I'm going to take a look at it quick and make sure we don't have a leaking issue. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't feel anything. All right, so before we fill it, let's see if the pump works and if we get squirt on the windshield. All right, here we go. Key on. Hit the power for it. Look at that. Squirt. Woohoo! Put the wipers on. You can actually run the squirters without the wipers on this car, but you can see it's working, so seems like we have a successful repair. And there go the wipers back down. All right, let's fill the reservoir back up and call it good. There are so many repairs like this that you can do on your own vehicle where they're not hard, and you know, where a lot of people take that into the shop and get it done somewhere. But you don't need to. I'm only going to fill that like halfway just in case there's just a super slow leak or something like that. But overall, I think we're good. I'm going to show you the old one right away so you can see what's going on with it. So here's what it looked like. You can see it was leaking. It was crusty. So some of that got into the motor and locked the motor up. So that was why we initially had to do this job. All right, so let's talk about a couple of things relating to this car. One is you could see when I was testing that, the voltage was at like 11 volts. I think it was like 10.9. Sometimes it would teeter to 11. I was expecting it to be closer to 12. So let's talk about some of the factors that could go into that. So first of all, this car I haven't driven this car in 2 weeks. And so basically I started it, drove it down to the shop. I'm just, really close to the shop. So it did not have a chance to charge basically at all. Secondly, the battery in this thing is dated 1 of 19. So it's 6 years old already. Holy cow. So it's an old battery as well. I'm going to show you guys how to test it with a load tester so you can see what the health of your battery is. So I don't doubt if this one's, probably needing to be replaced. It may not hold quite all the voltage that it should. Knock on wood, it's been starting just fine. I haven't noticed any, starting issues or anything like that. But so let's hook it up and see how good this battery is. So I'm going to start out putting the black on the negative and the red on the ground. That's going to turn the meter on, and then let me bring you guys in here a little closer, and I'll let you watch and see what's going on. Okay, so I think you guys can see the screen. We're going to start out. You can scroll up or down. We're going to do a battery test on this. So I hit enter. It's asking me what type of battery is. This is just a regular flooded battery. So I'll hit enter. We're going to check the cold cranking amps. Right now it's set to 800. This is a 770 cold cranking amp battery. So we're going to move that down to 770. Hit enter. It's going to run the test and then give me a little report on it. Okay, so you can see it came up red as replace. The health on it is 23%. The charge is 42%. Just sitting here with the ignition off, it's at 12.25 volts. The internal resistance is 6.90, and it was rated for 770 cold cranking amps. So essentially this battery is junk. I need to get a new battery for it. So that's something I'll definitely do. But I'm guessing that's why that was down at 11 volts when I was doing the testing there, is because this battery is just not that good. The other thing that I'm going to do is it's showing it's charged at 42%. I'm going to take this car for a drive and retest this and see if anything changes on it. If it's more charged, it may give you a different reading on it. So let's take it for a spin. All right, so let's see if we can get the battery charged up a little bit. You could also do it with the battery charger, but it's probably more fun to take it for a drive. So let's go. It still fires right up, but if it doesn't charge up and change that reading a little bit, I'm just going to have to get a new battery for it. You gotta do that every once in a while. It's kind of crazy. I've had this car done for probably 12 or 13 years now. I've been driving it, and for probably the first 10, 11 years, I really didn't have any issues with it, and since then I've had a couple of little things like that. So I guess that can be expected, that you have that period where you did the whole car, and then there's a period where you're really not going to have much trouble, and then things will start to go again. But so anyway, let's go. So if you look, this car has been running for a few minutes now, and it's still charging pretty good. So there's one of two things. Either the battery's low and it's going to charge all the way up, or the battery is going to take more charge, or at least the car's going to try to give it more charge because the battery's not good. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. We'll recheck it and go from there. Alright, here we go. Battery test, regular flooded, cold cranking amp, 770. It's testing. Still comes up with replace, 39% health. It's 100% charged now, 12.69 volts. And so we got to start thinking about a new battery for this beast. You could also do it with the battery charger, but it's probably more fun to take it for a drive. So let's go. The other thing I was going to talk to you about, can't remember what. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Up and Running. Thanks for watching, and be sure to come back next time.